Hi, I'm Olivia. Welcome to Marin English Lab. In this lesson, you will learn how to deliver an effective presentation in English. Do you have to give presentations in English as part of your job? Imagine that you are required to deliver an important presentation in English tomorrow. How would you feel? This lesson will provide you with useful phrases and practical techniques to introduce yourself and your topic clearly. Organize your ideas logically. Handle unexpected problems. Respond confidently to audience questions. Introducing yourself and your topic. Imagine you are standing in front of your colleagues. You need to introduce yourself and explain what your presentation will cover. If some audience members do not know you, begin by introducing yourself and your position. In a more formal context, you might say, "Good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Simon, and I work in the marketing department." Or, "Hello, everybody. Before we begin, let me briefly introduce myself. I'm Reese, and I'm the head of HR." In a more informal working environment, you could say, "Hi, everyone. If you don't know me, I'm Sylvia and I work in digital marketing." Or, "Hello. I see some new faces, so I'll introduce myself first. I'm Julia, and I'm part of the customer service team." Next, introduce your topic. If your topic is straightforward, one sentence may be sufficient. "Today, I'm going to talk about our new HR policies and how they affect you." Or, "I'd like to speak to you about quality control and why we are all responsible for it, regardless of our department." If your topic is more complex, structure it in stages. I'll begin by outlining the policies. Then, I'll explain what they mean for you and your working habits. Finally, I'll briefly discuss why these new policies are both necessary and beneficial. Another example. First, I'll explain why quality control has a broader meaning than you might expect. Next, I'll provide examples of real quality control and explain why it matters to all of us. To conclude, I'll invite you to consider how you can incorporate quality control into your daily work. You can use these templates. I'll begin by, then I'll. Finally, I'll. First of all, I'll. I'll continue by. To finish, I'll.
Engaging your audience. Throughout your life, you have likely encountered both effective and ineffective speakers. Effective speakers capture and maintain attention. Ineffective speakers lose it. What makes the difference? Effective speakers understand that attention must be earned. They make clear why their message matters. From the beginning, your audience should understand what they can expect, why the topic is relevant to them. Here are 3 techniques to engage your audience. 1. Present a problem and offer a solution. Have you ever felt that your work was not fully appreciated? We have developed new HR policies designed to ensure fair recognition for everyone's contribution. This makes the topic personally relevant. 2. Use a surprising fact or statistic. Did you know that the average office worker spends 8 hours at work, but only 4 hours are truly productive? This immediately sparks curiosity. 3. Tell a short story. Stories create emotional engagement. I once met a young salesperson who worked tirelessly to secure a major client. Despite his effort and stress, he ultimately lost the deal. Today, I will discuss confidence as a sales tool and how to avoid similar pitfalls.
Organizing your presentation, signposting. There is a well-known principle of presentation structure. Tell the audience what you're going to say it, and then tell them what you've said. This idea, associated with communication training traditions, emphasizes clarity and structure. Providing information is not enough, your audience must also understand how it is organized. This is achieved through signposting language. For example, that covers the new policies. Next, I'd like to discuss what these policies mean for you. Or, now that we've examined what not to do, let's focus on practical strategies for improvement. Signposting helps your audience follow your reasoning. You can use signposting language to move between points. Next, I'd like to talk about Let's move on to. At this point, I'd like to turn to. Add detail. Let me go into more detail about. Let's examine this more closely. I'd like to elaborate on. Conclude. To wrap up, let's review why this matters. Let's summarize the key points. What conclusions can we draw?
Dealing with problems during a presentation. Presentations rarely go perfectly. Common issues include forgetting your place, forgetting a word, making a mistake, forgetting an important point, facing a difficult question. Preparing cue cards with key vocabulary can help. However, flexibility is essential. If you lose your place, where was I? What was I saying? What's the word in English again? If you need to correct yourself, let me rephrase that. What I meant to say is, to clarify, if you forgot something important. Let me just add one more thing. I'd like to return briefly to an earlier point. When handling difficult questions, remember the 3 strategies. Delay. We'll address questions at the end of the session. I'm not in a position to answer that right now, but I'll follow up later. Deflect. That's an interesting question. What's your perspective? What does everyone else think? Dismiss, politely. Thank you for your input, but I don't see how that connects to today's topic. I don't mean to be blunt, but I don't think that's relevant to our discussion. Notice how indirect language maintains professionalism and composure. Final reflection. Before we conclude, we would like to ask, what advice would you give for delivering an effective presentation in English or any language? Host Olivia at Marin English Lab encourages you to reflect on your own experience and continue refining your presentation skills.
Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.